I'm just fucking fed up and I'm tired. I'm not tired of my spiritual journey. I'm tired of my fucking family. I'm about to post it, and I decided to grab my other phone and just do a little video. So my words are not stolen or misconstrued. So I'm gonna read what I wrote. They left me for dead, not understanding that I am death. My mother has tried to kill me in a fire, but I survived that. She had me sex trafficked at 3, and I survived that. She did black magic sex rituals on me with African men, and I survived that. She tried having my brother bury me alive, and I survived that. Then she had me kidnapped at 12. I survived that. I couldn't finish because I started to feel emotional, and I started to feel like I want to cry, but I don't have no emotions for my mother, for my family. What I have emotions for is that my daughter is 30 years old. My daughter is at the peak of her career. My daughter has fought. I have sacrificed. I stayed behind to fight this spiritual battle, to defeat the karmic family so that my children can be free, so that my children would never, ever, 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 ever know what my family has done to me. So I kept those secrets, and I purged that energy, and I fought. I chose to fight the spiritual battle. I chose to live the spiritual life. My father was a pimp, and my father's best friend became my handler. He never loved me. He never cared for me. He wanted to own and possess me, and that was the Hades energy. And so, when I was 9 years old, he told me, someday, little girl, you're going to be mine. And because of how I grew up in a house full of pimps and prostitutes. I grew up in a house full of sex toys everywhere. I grew up in a house of fucking porn on the TV, no cartoons. I grew up in a house where hoes were coming in and out, dropping off money, or getting their ass beat because they didn't drop off enough. That's how I grew up, while my father protected me. I didn't participate in any of it. I witnessed it. My father protected me from that, even though I was in the middle of it. My mother did not protect me from it. My mother offered me up to it. My mother would allow men to jump in the bed with me at night. My mother would allow men to pick me up in exchange for donuts and whatever else they arranged. I lived with a lot of painful shit that I never wanted my kids to experience. Never, never, never. I vowed I would never let my kids go through what I went through. And so I worked my ass off to keep my kids away from my mom and away from that side of the family because they are white trash. I know the kind of monster that my mom is, but I could never prove it because she was the monster to me. She wasn't the monster to everybody else. She didn't treat my brothers and sisters the way she treated me. And so that is why I just have to bite the bullet and expose the shit, because I've watched it. Well, first of all, I've been dealing with this shit for 50 years, and she won't fucking leave me alone. And I know that you're stalking my page, and I know that my sister's stalking my page, and my niece, and I know probably my other sister too. And I'm sure after being caught red-handed trying to kill me, that my brother is probably watching this page too. So it's a privilege to see me so vulnerable, because I don't get vulnerable, and I'm not vulnerable. I'm choosing to be vulnerable. Slightly, ever so slightly, because if I don't allow myself to be a little soft and wet, I will retaliate. And I'm not going to retaliate in a small way. I have enough ammunition to just take every fucking body out. I am so awake to what you've done to me over 50 years of narcissistic abuse and trauma. My children will never understand me needing to sit in silence, me needing to heal, me needing to get away from my mom. My kids won't understand that. My youngest daughter could not understand that. She thought I was selfish. She thought I was making shit up. She thought I was instigating. She couldn't understand why I didn't want to get along with my sister. She couldn't understand why she wasn't allowed to go sleep over at my sister's house. Because my sister's a fucking pedophile. Because my sister used to molest my fucking brother obsessively. And I used to protect my brother. I was his protector. I was his keeper. I was his mother. But my brother did his last graduation in college. I was there. It's the only walk that I was able to see. And when they asked for the graduate's parents to stand up, I stood up for him. My mother didn't even have the courage. She didn't even give a fuck to come to Missouri, and that's how I ended up here, to support him, to stand up for him. Nobody did that. I did. I protected my brother from the fucking monster that he just formed an alliance with, because they're both unhealed, and they're both plotting to kill me. My brother was abused by his sister, his older sister. She's 1 year younger than me, and that's why I refused to let my kids around them. I tried my best to keep them from around them without divulging all of the information, because I was still healing. I was still in disbelief that my mom could allow the things to happen to me that have happened to me. So this is just a few things on my list, because I'm literally in the middle. You see the cursor? I'm literally in the middle of writing it. I didn't even finish writing it, and then I just was like, you know what? I just need to fucking do a video. Even if I never show it, I just need to do a video, and I need to say it, and I need to feel it, be done with it, and you know, if I'm gonna kill him, I can do that. I can do that, but I would have to take everybody. I would have to take everybody, and then I'd have to take my own life, and then fighting 50 years to heal this pain would be in vain. So it's probably not necessarily an option for me. But this is what they've done to me. Basically left me for dead. They've stripped me naked of my power, of my prestige. And they've taken my children. They took my freedom. They took my peace. They took my power. I watched my daughter's father, my handler, my abuser, build an empire on my fucking energy. The same man who beat a baby, my first baby. I was 5.5, almost 6 months pregnant with a boy named Jameek. Jameek LaMichael would have been his name. And he beat that baby right out of me. And the justice system didn't give a shit. They would not arrest him. They did not press charges. And basically I was told to just let it go. They told me to just let it go. Focus on my health. Your health is more important. Just let it go. It's over. Stay away from him. It's over. You don't stay away from a narcissist because a narcissist won't let you go. And even if they don't hold on to you physically, they hold on to you mentally and emotionally. And I have sat for 30 years in the fucking pain of what he's taken from me, what he's done to me, to the point where the other child that I had, he's not even her father. He is not her father. But he refused to not be considered her legal father. He refused to accept that he was not her biological father. And he took over the parenting and fatherness of her. I thought it was because he loved me. I thought it was because, see, I was karmic and forsaken in a karmic relationship and so badly abused, I didn't know right from wrong. I didn't know up from down. It was safer for me to let him have access to her and just take the abuse than it was to keep her away from him and to take a different type of abuse. So I surrendered to that. I surrendered to the lesser abuse and I let him parent her. And when I tried to fight in court, I sat right there and fucking told the judge, he's not her father. The judge asked the both of us, do you want to do DNA testing? And I said, yes, absolutely. And he said, no, Your Honor, I don't need a DNA test. That's my daughter. And the judge sided with him. And I said, but how can you do that? He's not her father. And the judge said, ma'am, we've already made a decision, Sign here. I signed saying he is her father. And I signed a fucking divorce. They forced me to divorce him. I never married him. I was never married. I never married anybody. I've been engaged several times, but I'm too fucking broken. I'm too damaged. I can't be with a lying, cheating piece of shit. I need a real fucking man. I need a real man. A protector and a provider. A real man. Not an abuser and a controller and a handler. So, let me keep reading. Oh, I don't know where I left off. Let me just, 14 minutes. Let me just fucking express myself because I don't need to feel this shit no more. I don't need to feel this no fucking more. I'm taking my power back. I am 50, I think I'm 51, 52, maybe 50 years old, I'm not sure. They left me for dead, not understanding that I am death. My mother tried to kill me in a fire, and I survived that. So I asked her about the fire, because I remember the fire. But I remember glimpses of escaping the fire, and I remember being in fear like, is my mommy gonna save me? Or is she gonna leave me here? I remember that moment. And I questioned my mom about it, and my mom says something to the effect that the landlord or the homeowner got insurance. So, and she claimed that she didn't get none of the money, but I didn't believe her. So I feel like that was, her first major attempt to get rid of me because there's a history of, we call the CPS. CPS had been called on my mom numerous occasions for child neglect, reports of neglect for my care, called to the school, questioned about how I look and how I smell, things like that. It was apparent that my mother was not taking care of me. And so she was constantly being called out on that. So my mom was constantly trying to get rid of me. I have burn marks all over my arms where my mom dropped a cigarette on me. And she claims that I just closed my arm. And I was like, well, it burned through 2 parts of my arm. How come you didn't open my arm and take care of that? And she's like, well, I did. I got a scar that says you didn't. So I got other scars on my legs. I asked my mom, where did these scars come from? And she says, well, so I asked her several times and the story changed each time. So it's somewhere to the effect of hot coffee was dumped on me. In a fit of rage. She claims it was an accident, but she was in a fit of rage and I got burned by coffee. A whole pot of coffee. And then there's the house fire. I survived that. And then she had me sex trafficked at 3 for donuts. I remember that. I remember she used to let this African guy, his name was Moore. She was actually sharing him with her sister. They were both in competition for this man. But this man didn't give a fuck about neither one of them. This man was more interested in me. This man used to pick me up. He used to bring a dozen of donuts and he used to pick me up and take me to his apartment and do some kind of African rituals on me. And he would ejaculate all over me. He never really penetrated me sexually, but he'd always do these rituals on me and I never knew exactly what it was. Some kind of magic shit. And it was one time where one of his guy friends came over just as he was finishing with me. And that guy knew, but he didn't say anything. He didn't do anything to protect me. So they were all in on it. And as long as my mom got whatever it was, whatever the price was, she didn't give a shit. I used to tell my mom, so-and-so touched me, he did this and he did that. And she used to tell me, shut up, you're dreaming, go back to sleep, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And she used to say something in this voice, I don't know what she'd say, and she would push the hair behind my ears really hard around my ears. And as a result of what she was saying and doing, I always felt like a tiny little fly in the top of the room, and I always felt so small and insignificant and so unheard. And that was the trauma response that was created in me, was to be small and insignificant, that my cries for pain will never be heard. And so That's what my mother taught me. She's very narcissistic. And then the next thing is, did black magic sex rituals on me with African men. So that's what I was talking about. My mother has had me, when I was 18, she took me to, and this is something that, where I'm from, this is what all the moms did. The moms would get together as girlfriends, and they would rally up their teenage daughters, and on certain occasions, it was usually sometime in October. We would go to the Jamaican farms in Maine, where the apple pickers are, and they would have apples and pumpkin and stuff like that, and they would do like a goat, and it would be like a really big festival kind of party thing, and the moms would bring their daughters for sex, basically. And I remember that. I'll never forget it. I wasn't a virgin. I had been raped and molested by every fucking body. I was no stranger to sex at 18, unfortunately. I remember my mom saying, "You've been a cranky bitch all week. You're gonna get laid tonight." And I remember feeling that small, insignificant feeling again. Feeling like it didn't matter how I felt. This is what I would have to do. And a couple of us got brought to this party. And we were basically told to pick out a guy that we thought was cute. Or some of us were just lined up and they let men pick us. And so my mom kind of went both ways. My mom was like, well, who wants her? And there was too many men who wanted me. So my mom told me to pick. That's the kind of fucking life I grew up with. You know, people want to be an empress, but you don't want to go through what it takes to be an empress. And, this is just some of the shit that I've gone through. And, my mother's had my brother bury me alive. And then when I was able to get up out of the dirt, she played it off. Like, oh, poor baby, come here. Poor baby. What did you do that for? What happened? She didn't give a shit. So, when I was 12, she had me kidnapped. She told me to go play at a friend's house. I went to that friend's house and I ended up kidnapped. I was 12 years old. I was lying, saying I was 16. I was trying to be grown. I was over there doing shit I didn't have no business doing. My mom knew that. So there was a guy named Dennis, big tall black guy named Dennis, and another guy named Joey Good. I remember his name, Joey Good. And there was another guy I don't remember. And then there was a guy in Lynn, Massachusetts, who had an apartment in Lynn, Massachusetts. He was really ugly. I don't remember his name, but they took me there. They took me to Lynn, Massachusetts, and they had their way with me. And I thought they were going to kill me every week. I've already written about this before. I've already written about it, so I don't have any pain talking about it. I've already healed from this. My editor quit. My editor couldn't handle reading my story. And so he said, I'm sorry, I can't help you with this project. But my book has already been written. It's just not finished. But I did write about this already, and which was, well, they dropped me off a block from where they picked me up at. They didn't know it, but they literally dropped me off in the back of my house. But they did not know that. So I was definitely protected, definitely protected. And, you know, I didn't realize that until years later. But, yeah, my mom fucking set that up. That's when I was 12. There was a nationwide APB out for me to have been brought back home. So I basically never mentioned it again. I was like, man, they could have killed me. And I guess I can make peace with it because they didn't kill me. So let me keep reading here. I said, I want nothing to do with anyone in my family. You're all sick. I caught my family red-handed trying to make me crazy so they can call me crazy. And when I called them out and separated myself from them, they began trying to kill me. My mother, my sister, and my brother, and my baby daddy, and my psycho ex are working together to block me from my daughter and to kill me for my riches. So that's why I got emotional about my daughter. My daughter is at the peak of her success, the peak of her career, and the only thing I can do is be in the background. It's the only thing that they will allow me to do, is to be in the background and continue to play this insignificant role where they've brainwashed my daughter into believing I can't take care of her, I can't provide for her, I'm crazy, whatever the hell they tell her, right? So the reason why I even broke down and asked her father or legal father to help me with her was because my father, when my father died, my father was my hero. My father was my true love, my first love, my protector. Even though he was a pimp and he had all that shit going on at home in his house, he was still my father. He protected me. He put everybody on notice, not around my daughter, but you can't keep that shit from me. You know what I mean? You can't hide that shit. But he tried. He even put a woman in the house and, called her my stepmom. He tried to give me what I never had at home with my mom. Even though both my mom and dad are very sick. So so when it comes to my daughter, that's probably when I need to take the breath, and because I had to sacrifice her to save her from my mom. And I sacrificed her to a man who's probably just as crazy as my mom, but maybe a couple degrees less. But it was in order to save her life and to save mine. And then I had another baby that I really needed to keep away from my mom while being really close to my mom. Because as sick and dysfunctional as it is, and as it sounds and as it seems, I loved my mom. I wanted her approval. I wanted her to love me. I wanted her to appreciate me. I wanted her to respect me and to see how beautiful I was. And my mother would not do any of that. My mother absolutely refused. My mother was very jealous and envious of me. My mother hated me. She hated how beautiful I was. She hated how gifted I was. She hated how much attention I got. My mother was constantly trying to kill me or get rid of me or hide me from the rest of the world by telling people that I'm crazy, telling people that I'm a hustler. I'm not a fucking hustler. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not crazy. I'm genius. I've invented shit. And then I just get shut down. I get blocked. My mom is like this major black magic manifester. Like I manifest light. She manifests very, very, very dark. My mom can manifest instantly very bad things. And I manifest very instantly very good things. Okay? Well, I'm looking at my daughter and I'm like, I'm supposed to be there. How can she have her 30th birthday without me there? How come she didn't miss me there? And then I'm starting to see, oh, this nigger talking about her father, her legal father, he hasn't let it go. He's not done abusing me. He's still in the back. He's still in my daughter's ear abusing me. So let me continue reading. I want nothing to do with anyone in my family. You're all sick. I caught my family red-handed that's where I left off. Trying to make me crazy so they can call me crazy. And when I called them out and separated myself, which was me moving here to St. Louis, I just said, fuck my family, I'm out of here. I got really close to, I thought I was always close to my baby brother because I protected him from our sister who was fucking obsessively molesting him. And I stopped that abuse from happening. And I asked him about it and he told me, he doesn't have problems with it. He healed from that. He's okay with it. And I trusted and believed that, maybe he probably did. And it's none of my business, but if he needs me, I'm here. And apparently he hasn't healed from that, because if he healed from that, he would have separated himself from her, but he hasn't. He's actually working with her to block me from my daughter. They're desperately trying to attach themselves to my daughter because my daughter is finally about to be what was blocked and stolen from me, and that's to become a star. I'm supposed to be a star. And so there's energy transference. There's all kind of karmic shit happening here. It was my destiny to be a star, and I put my youngest daughter in charter school for theater, and it was natural for her. She's a natural. My daughter is a phenomenal actress, phenomenal, and she excelled. She was the best of her classes, and for many years. And she did theater and musical theater for, I don't know how many years, but from like 4th grade till graduating high school. And then when she went to college, she decided to go a little more seriously. But and then that whole college thing got screwed up because my brother got involved. My brother got involved and swayed her off of her path. And now she's doing science stuff like my brother. So my brother's been controlling and manipulating my youngest daughter. And I thought they were having a good uncle-niece relationship, and I thought it was healthy because for some reason my daughter felt the need to pull away from me and give us space. And I commend her for doing that. And she should have, because I was healing narcissistic abuse, not knowing that I had become very narcissistic-like to protect myself. And so I projected a lot of that narcissism onto my children, and especially her. I may have done things to her that my mom did to me in moments of frustration because she wanted a relationship with my mom and my sister, and I didn't want that at all. And I couldn't tell her why. I just fought with her. And so I wish I would have told her why, but I wanted her to have a childhood. I wanted her to enjoy life. I wanted her to never be touched, never to feel that pain. I wanted her to, I didn't even know what narcissism was, but I didn't want her to be treated the way I was treated. And so all I could do is just protect her and tell her no for everything. You know, no, you can't, no. So maybe I was overprotective, and that caused a lot of trauma for her. So she needed to separate herself from me, to heal from that. And I got that, and I respected that, and I supported that, and I actually believed in it. And we both grew in that time, but it didn't seem to end. As long as my brother was involved in my daughter's life, it seemed like my daughter and I got further and further away. And in fact, it would almost puzzle my brother when he would learn that I was in communication with my kids. I would say, oh, I was talking to so-and-so today. And he'd say, oh, really? Really? She called you? Or you called her? And I'd say, we talk all the time. Why? And he'd say, oh, okay. Really? So after the last time that happened, it's like I really haven't talked to my daughter at all since then. I spend more time begging her to take my calls than I do actually talking to her because of my brother. I know my mother is very, I know that my mom is very instrumental in keeping my children away from, or at least my daughter away from me. And my firstborn, my mom is so disgusting to her. I had actually brought home a friend's daughter, or actually not brought her home, but she was with me one day, and she walked into my mom's with me, and my mom started crying, and we were just looking at her like, what the fuck? And she thought that girl was my daughter. And I was like, man, you don't even know your own grandkids. Like, you know, clean yourself up. That's embarrassing. And when my daughter did come, my mom didn't even want to turn around and look at her. Like, she didn't acknowledge her at all. Like, she looked right past her like, yeah, so what? So that's the kind of abuse I've dealt with my whole life. My picture will show up on my mom's computer because, you know, she does the screensaver thing. And I'll say, oh, look. And this actually did happen one time. I said, oh, look, Mom, look at my picture. I love that picture. Isn't that a nice picture? Look at that beautiful girl. And my mom put on an angry face and looked at that picture, and she said, And then my sister came, flashed up the next picture, and she said, now that's pretty. And I said, man, fuck you. And I walked out. That's the kind of abuse I've dealt with my whole life that I tried to protect my children from. And I ended up losing my kids anyway. To these motherfuckers. So let me keep going. Oh, so my brother, my mother, my sister, my baby daddy, and my psycho ex are working together to block me from my daughter and to kill me for my riches. So I caught my brother red-handed trying to kill me. But at the same time, I was seeing my sister in 5D spiritually attacking me. And I got notes. Yeah, I got notes. I was at the shopping center on Lindo, and a feeling washed over me. Well, it was spirit. Spirit said, look up, pay attention. Let's talk. And I looked up, and I saw nothing, but then a woman, it's like she came from nowhere, was about to walk in front of the car. And I only looked at her in the peripheral, and I looked down, and Spirit said, look. And I looked real close. I completely stopped the car. And the woman, it looked like something went right. It's like I saw her get taken over by an entity, and in her head, in a real fucking creepy way, looked to the right. And she didn't have eye contact with me, but it was very close eye contact. But she was looking either at my car or to the car, but it was in my direction, but not at me specifically. She couldn't find me. So the spiritual community will understand this very, very, very well. When I say she was being used as a monitoring spirit, and I had been located, but I have so much protection that my sister had located me in 5D, okay, and she wasn't able to get in. So I don't know if this was her first attempt, or if she just got a new gift, or if God was just showing me, I need to show you something. Now you're ready to see something. I don't know, but I was like, holy shit. It looked like a fucking woman who looked half dead. She looked like exactly like my sister, only half dead. And she looked like, okay. So I have a notebook in the car always. So I grabbed the notebook and I just started writing everything that I saw. I never even looked down at the notebook. I just looked at her and I just catatonically kept writing and writing and writing. And basically, this is how I understood that my sister and my brother are literally working against me. But I didn't know exactly how. And then I started to do the math. My brother had given me some diabetes medicine. Or it's not I used to be a diabetic, but I got rid of the diabetes. I rejected that shit. I healed myself from that. And then I'm a healer, so I got rid of it. And he is extremely obese, overweight, obese. And his doctor had prescribed him something that was similar to an insulin product, but it was designed to monitor the glucose, but also reduce his appetite to help him lose weight, right? So my brother calls and one day randomly and says, hey. So I didn't like the way he said, hey. So I already didn't trust him. And I already have body messages around my brother that I need to be careful. I shouldn't trust him. But I guess I was just hanging in there waiting to see why. Why can't I trust him? And how can I not trust my brother? He's like the only person I got left in my family. I didn't cut my whole family off. The only person I have left in my life, in my family is this one last brother. And this is the baby brother. Okay. And so, he says, so, I just came from the doctor's, and the doctor is, well, you remember that prescription they gave me? And I was like, yeah. He's like, well, he's going to give me something else. And I still got three more pens of that stuff. He was like, I was wondering if you want it. He was like, you should try it. It'll help you to decrease your appetite. And, I'll show you how to use it and all this stuff. And I was like, I said, okay. So I already knew, first of all, I'm not going to use it because I don't do medicine. I'm a healer. I can heal myself. And that's one. And two, the reason why I gained weight is because I've been telling my brother that I'm being gang stalked and these people are fucking trying to kill me and he won't believe me. And because in the middle of being gang stalked, when I was afraid to be alone, I went to my brother's house and my brother actually put me out and made me come back home and face this shit, to deal with this shit. Not knowing if I was going to be killed or not. So it was just a play on my fear, right? So more narcissistic handling. Anyway, I've been through hell. So I knew I was not going to touch this medicine, but I had to play along. So I accepted it from him. And then I was not in a rush to pick it up. And my brother stressed, when are you going to come pick this up? When are you going to pick this up? So I finally made my way over there to pick it up. He gave me really explicit instructions on how to take it. And he gave me an old blood pressure machine, which is actually a pretty nice one. And he taught me how to use it. And he said, I want you to pick a day of the week, do your blood pressure and let me know every week how you're doing. So I said, okay. So I just paid attention to, what is he organizing and whatever. So I think a week and a half to 2 weeks into having this, I get a few messages from him concerned about how is my dosage, how am I doing, how am I feeling and all this shit. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about that stuff. So let me take this call. So I call him back and I pretended to be taking it. And I even lied and said, oh yeah, I've increased the dosage and this and this and that. But I said the wrong amount. I think I said something like 1.5. And he said, you mean 1.8? I was like, yeah, whatever the next notch up is. So he should have known right then and there. I wasn't taking that shit. But anyway, I pretended that I was. So a few days later, this is when the dogs knocked me over and I totally popped my sciatic nerve or whatever I did.
I laid in bed and I was literally paralyzed for 2.5 days. I stayed in bed for 4 days, freaking out, trying to heal myself, trying to get back to life. And that was when I found the breathing technique that basically stopped the whole, I mean, I really totally healed myself from the sciatic problem. It has not returned. Anytime I do the pranic breathing, I direct that energy to wherever the issue is, and I have been just fine. So the thing is while I was laying in bed, doing that research, going through, running through my life in my head, and I got to call my kids and tell them I think I'm paralyzed, and having that, thought process, that's when I realized when I healed myself, I was thinking, if I would have had to call my brother, I started to imagine what would it be like to have to depend on my brother. And I just got really sick to my stomach. And I said, fuck, I have to heal myself. I cannot call my brother. I cannot depend on my brother. I cannot ask my brother for help. In fact, I probably shouldn't even call him. And that's what I realized. And so I didn't. I never told my brother. But I also realized that I love my brother so much. I would do anything in the world for my brother. I helped him launch a very successful cookie business that I absolutely believe in. And he completely cut me out of it. As soon as he took off, I helped him get to overnight sensation, and he fucking cut me out as if I didn't exist. And then I never asked for anything. I was like, okay, whatever, I'm here if you need me, not seeing that I was used, okay, and I'm still being abused. I didn't see it. You know what I mean? Because I love my brother so much. I'm so loyal to my brother. I remember when he went to the military after high school, I was the one who sent him there. I was the one who was there for his graduation. I was the one who supported him in high school and in college. And I was the one. My mom never did shit for him. It was me. And I promised him, as soon as my kids go, I promise I'll be right back. Because I was always his protector and always his caretaker. And so when my youngest daughter went to college, that's why I came to Missouri. I came to be with my brother. I came to keep my promise, to continue to protect my brother. And so I was here to protect him. And we were supposed to do that business together. And that was like a spiritual contract for us, confirmation, for us to, for us to have that family legacy together, for us to heal the poverty in our family together. And that was also supposed to help my brother heal from the sexual trauma as I was healing from mine. We had each other. He was my best friend. The only person I trusted. He was the only one left that I could trust. And I was realizing I can't trust him at all. Trusting him was a huge mistake. And so I was like, okay, I can swallow that. I'm good. I'm okay with that. Fuck it. Let's move on. So I pulled away from my brother to do this thought process, to see the truth, to hear my intuition, to clear my energy. And my brother went crazy. I think I didn't talk to him for 4 days, maybe 5 days. And he just kind of had a behavior. And I was like, well, what the fuck? I am entitled to not answer my phone. I can't imagine that you'd behave this way. So he sent the fucking police to do a welfare check at my house. That really confused me. And that basically told on him because he's got my house key, or had my house key. Why would you send the police? You have my house key. I am, 12 to 15 minutes away from your house? It's just me and you here. Why didn't you come to my house and see that I'm okay? You know what my situation is like. You know what my neighborhood is like. You know what I'm going through because of my psychotic ex. Why wouldn't you come check on me? So he sent the police here, and the police were fucking buddy-buddy with all the neighbors. All of the neighbors who are in on the gang stalking against me. I see the police through the fucking window chatting it up with with the bitch next door and talking to the lady across the street. And the neighbor, long story, I did mention him before, but I have another neighbor on the other side of the house who looks just like my brother, who I know he's in on it. So anyway, long fucking story. His name is Sean. I'll mention him later because I've already mentioned him before subtly. But So I can't believe what these people have done to just to shut me down, and keep me quiet. Okay, it's fucking crazy. They really try to take my whole life from me, stealing my life literally. And so here I am. I'm figuring it out. I'm looking at the police, and I'm like, how the fuck can he have such a lighthearted conversation with her? How are they so fucking cool? And he's supposed to be here conducting business. They look like two best friends who hadn't seen each other since last weekend. That's what it looked like. I was like, what the fuck? So I did not answer the door. I was like, oh, hell no. He's either a fake cop or the whole fucking thing about the police being here is a setup. So I didn't answer the door. That's one reason why I didn't answer the door. But the other reason was because I was literally just getting out of the shower and the only thing I had on was a towel. So, but it was good because I wasn't opening the door. So no matter what, when I saw that, that was just reinforcement for that decision. Yeah, damn right, I'm not opening the door. So I'm getting dressed. I leave. I'm minding my business now, doing my own thing. When I come home, there's Sean. There's Sean. Sean is sitting on his porch, literally waiting for me. As soon as I pulled up, I could see his behavior. It was prevalent. He was literally waiting for my arrival. He was anxious to talk to me. And I was confused and baffled because I don't fuck with that nigga. I already done cut him off. I already know what kind of shiesty motherfucker that is. I already know. So I don't want anything to do with him, and he's not allowed in my face at all. And then he runs right up to me. Hey, Angie, you know that man that looks a little bit like me? He left a note on your door. He said you should call him right away. And I looked at Sean and I said, all right. And I'm on my business. I'm going in the house. I get the note. The note is from my brother. Saying, basically admitting that he did a welfare check for me to call him and shit like that. I did not want to talk to him. I didn't want to fucking talk to anybody. So I text my brother from a funny number, from my Google Voice number, and I say, my phone is broken, I'm okay. To kind of justify why he hasn't heard from me in a while, and basically let him know I'm fine, leave me alone. Without saying that. Because I really didn't know, how am I going to handle this shit? I didn't realize my brother was trying to kill me now. Now remember, I hadn't taken this medicine. By the time he did that welfare check, and it was just like God set this up. Because that 4 days of silence, I think they expected me to be in here dead. The neighbor Sean, my brother, and the police, and the neighbors. They all expected me to be in this house dead. Not healing myself from partial paralysis. I think that fucked their head up. I was supposed to be in here dead. So my brother left me about... You know what? Let me play this shit. Oh, wait a minute. If I do that, I'm gonna lose this. So let me read this right quick so it's on video. I'm gonna finish reading what I wrote because I could screenshot it. Everybody but themselves. And I know I have a lot of fucking doppelgangers. A lot of people trying to be me, especially my sister, especially my mom, but not wanting to go through the shit that I went through. So let me just read it right quick. I said, I will return the same energy to you. You're all dead to me. Family really ain't shit. Mine is full of liars, thieves, child pedophile, sadomasochist, child trafficking, narcissist, liar, cheater, secret keeper, white trailer trash. So I went off. I expressed myself. I cannot fathom how you could conspire to do something so maniacal to me when I was always so loving and supportive to every member of our family for my entire life, to the point where I sacrificed myself. Falling completely, well, I don't know what I meant there, sacrificed myself completely because nothing was ever more important to me than family. But that was a joke. I should have been more selfish. I had the perfect example, but I'm selfless, naturally, and not even their evil ways could change that. But I am, however, learning to be incredibly selfish, and I am, that's my mission right now. So hold on. I wanted to go to my voicemails. So this is, we're over an hour now. Well, I guess it'll be worth it. All right, so I'm looking at my voicemails. So here's my brother, November 17th. So he says, you haven't responded to any of my calls or texts. I'm just making sure you're alive. And that was at 1 o'clock on the 17th. And then I have him again on the 15th. Says, hey, I haven't heard back from you the last couple of times, so I'm just making sure you're okay and alive. This is someone... Wait a minute. Let me play it. Hey, Ange, I haven't heard back from you in the last... Making sure that I'm okay, that I'm not in a ditch somewhere, that I'm alive. And then my mom called a week before that and said, oh, that one's playing.
Everything that's going on, I wanted to make sure that you would. I love you.
That woman don't love nobody but herself. And what the fuck is she making sure of? She said, I just wanted to make sure everything is going on. I love you, bye. What is that, covering your tracks? Because you're in Miami plotting my fucking murder?
Hey, Mom, just checking in. Everything that's going on, I wanted to make sure that you would. I love you.
Bitch, you feeling guilty now? You feeling guilty now, huh? And then there's the 2 calls from my brother, and then I got a whole bunch of checks from my brother. Why won't this play? Here we go. I have been being gang stalked for 4 fucking years by a corrupt police officer, by a real fucking clinical psychopath, the Freemasons, a witch coven, and a bunch of psychos online. And you're gonna fucking joke about me being in a fucking ditch somewhere? You're the only person I confided all of these fears into, all of these occurrences. You're the only person I confided in, or I confided to, really told what was going on. And you're laughing.
In a ditch somewhere, or make sure you're alive and okay. Call me back. All right, talk to you later. Bye.
Yeah, whatever. All right, let's see if this one will play too.
The fact that it sounded like you sent the call to voicemail. That implies to me that you're alive. You haven't replied to any of my calls and texts. I'll make sure you're alive. Call me back. All right. Angie, due to the fact that it sounded like you sent the call to voicemail, that implies to me that you're alive. You haven't replied to any of my calls and texts. I'm making sure you're alive. Call me back. All right.
That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. I know my brother. And I know my mother. That's fucking bullshit. Since I've been here, it's been nothing but a nightmare. Yeah, I'm healing from my mom. Well, I got away from her. Or did I? I'd like to think that I'm healing from her. Or am I? I'm tired. I don't want anything to do with anybody in my family. And hopefully one day, things can be healed with my children. And they understand how sick my family is. And when they understand, I have just been trying to fight to stay alive. And to thrive, and to be free, and to feel free. Every relationship I've had, my mother and my sister are so jealous and envious of. My sister has tried to fucking be me since she was basically a baby.
I'm just me. This is why I don't fucking do makeup and shit like that, because if I do, it's like I'm extremely powerful. Like crazy shit happens. Crazy shit happens. When I get dressed up and I'm in my power. This is the shit they're trying to kill me for. What I have naturally. I guess I should give them what they don't want, huh? I don't know, but I feel so much better getting that out. I really feel so much better getting that out. And I did read that. I do. I feel so much better. I feel like I said the things that I've been holding in. I wrote about it. Maybe I should finish writing. Anyway, it's 1:11, an hour, 11 minutes, and 11 seconds. Ain't that some shit? I should have screenshotted it. Ew, by the time I got it done, it's 11:16. 1:11:16. So 1 hour, 11 minutes, and it was 11 seconds. So, judgment, justice. That's all I want. I don't care if my mother goes to jail or if she drops dead. I'd prefer she drop dead. She'll take all her lies and secrets with her. I still don't know the truth about my father. I still don't know the truth about my birth certificate. I have a phony-ass birth certificate and a phony-ass social security number. It's all phony. But it seems to be legit in the government now because it's been so long. It works in the system now. I've been building a life off of it. So I know that I have another identity. My mom has been telling me that I had a twin. But she won't tell me where's the twin, what happened to the twin. My mother has a son that she mourns every February that she claims was a stillborn. Yet everywhere she goes, she's constantly looking for this child and then horribly depressed. Like for the entire month of February, she's badly depressed. Sometimes into mid-March. Every fucking year. So I don't believe my mom lost the baby. I believe she sold that fucking kid. And if she did, why wouldn't she sell my twin? Maybe just one of us was enough? Oh, we'll just keep the light on. I don't know. My pain and my anger makes me talk shit in that area. And the other really painful thing is I'm still missing a brother that I'm aware of. I can't remember his name. He's Joey something. My sister died with the information. She knew. She was looking for him for us. She was in charge of that. And my sister died suddenly, so that information is lost. I have his baby picture, that's it. And what pisses me off is I'm not even in the picture because I took the picture. So, that's a mile in my footsteps. It's taken me 50 fucking years to get away from my family. All I want is to heal. All I want is a happy memory. I don't have any. I want my children. I want vacations and cooking and laughter and dancing and music with my kids. They're grown women now. I just want to be free. No family. I don't want that family. They will never have access to me again. My sister is so envious and jealous of me. And I have fought her for so long. She makes her daughter hate me, but her daughter knows I'm not the problem. But her daughter has disrespected me before. And been very evil and sly and conniving and just did some really foul shit to me. And so I had to cut her off too. Even though I spent, 20 years trying to save her. Trying to get her away from my sister. Trying to give her safe space and refuge. Trying to be available to her when she needs somewhere to be safe. I wanted to be that person because her mother's a fucking monster. I remember one time I could have swore I heard my two sisters. I don't even remember. But we had all went to the pool one day. I can't remember whose house. I don't remember. It was a family day. And we went to a pool. The pool was fucking huge. And we were in there with all the kids and everything. We were having a wonderful time. And something told me, something said stay away from the kids.
or keep my distance from the babies. And I didn't know why. But I observed, like, what was the activity around the babies. I kept my distance, but I kept a close eye on them. And it mostly was around my sister's boyfriend and my sister. But I can't quite put my finger on the memory. Right, really, that shit went in one ear and out the other. I was like, you'll pay for that. I don't know if they try to start some kind of speculation or some kind of rumor or some kind of family bullshit, or if my sister was doing it again. Really hope not. But it was some kind of energy. Maybe it was just me picking it up psychically, but some kind of energy of them trying to accuse me. Accuse me of, I don't know if it was touching on a nephew or touching on a niece, or what it would have been, or what it was, or if it was, or if there really was a conversation, or if it was just energy that I was picking up. I don't know. If I was being set up for some shit like that, if my sister was touching on my nieces, great nieces or nephews, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know. And I don't know if she did it again. I don't know. I don't know if she's done it as an adult. I don't know if she's been that kind of person as a mom. I don't know if she ever touched her child, or if she ever touched on her grandchildren, or if she ever touched on my nephews. But I do know that my sister was obsessive. Like fucking, like me with dark chocolate. I can't keep my hands out of that. She was like that with touching on my brother. And she molested both of my brothers. And they were both my half-brothers. One half-brother from my mom and a half-brother from my dad. And then when my sister from my dad's side came around, she molested the fuck out of her too. Everybody was molesting her. People like that don't deserve fucking freedom and rights. And they damn sure don't deserve to prosper and build empires and fortunes and to do better than me in life when I'm over here broken and sacrificing, starving and stressing so I can heal that fucking pain. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. It's been over 50 years now. I couldn't go to college because of that high-risk pregnancy that I was having. When my baby daddy beat that baby out of me, I got put on bed rest to try to save the baby. I still miscarried that baby anyway. He beat that baby right out of me. But I lost all of my grants. I lost all of my funding. I lost my school loan. And because I had racked up so much medical bills, at that time I didn't qualify for any more help, and I still owed shit. And the school ended up being shut down because the school was stealing money, and all that was being investigated. So a lot of people were not getting their stipends. I was one of those people. I was not getting my stipends. The school was pocketing them. So I got fucked. And then I had 23 credits. 23 or 32, I can't remember. I think it was 23 credits. And even though because the school was closed down, I could not transfer those credits. I was told that I would have to start my degree all over again. So that's 2.5 years in college just thrown away as if it didn't happen. It didn't exist. It erased from me. So I said, well, fuck it. My baby's about to go to college. I will save my credit worthiness to make sure she gets to go. And I just won't do this. I just won't go. And so I sacrificed myself to make sure that my baby can go. And I paid for everything. All my daughter had to do was show up for class. She had an entire degree paid for. Everything was paid for. I maxed out my credit. I had 9 or 12, I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. But somewhere between 9 and 12 credit cards and bank accounts to get her ready for college. I said, fuck it, I might not never go, but she'll have that chance. I'm going to give her what my mother never gave me. I kept a family tradition. When we were 18, we were supposed to get a Mustang. I got a Mustang when I was 18. My big brother got one when he was 18. My mom got one when she was 18. And so I got one for my baby when she turned 18. I restored it. It was amazing. That bitch had so much power in it. We packed that car up and we headed to New York. And the day that we were leaving, she crashed the car. So I said, okay, well, fuck it. We'll just take my car. Unloaded her car, loaded mine, and we left anyway. So she goes to college. I think she does one semester. And then I think it was winter break. She calls me and she says, I gotta get out of here. I mean, she had everything to last her a minimum of 3 years before she needed anything, like feminine wise. She had a cool stove top thingy, fucking cool ass refrigerator. I went and decorated her dorm room. And then that wasn't good enough. She wanted her own room. So we upgraded to her own room. It cost me like an extra $800 per semester. I was like, fuck it, do it. I gave and I gave and I gave. And my daughter just quit school. She said, this ain't for me. I said, well, okay. Come on back to Miami. I sent her $400 for gas. And she needed a part for the car. So I had that express couriered right to her. And she never came back. She took that money and she went her way. I haven't seen my daughter since. That was in 2015. Now my daughter don't even talk to me. She used to talk to me once in a while. Now it's nothing. So since they want to abuse me like the rest of my family, I block my children off. I refuse to be abused by them motherfuckers anymore. It might have taken me 50 years to get away from my family. It's not because I didn't try before. It's because everywhere I go, they fucking follow me. I left my mother when I was 18. I left her in Maine and came to Florida. But I was in the hands of my abuser, my daughter's legal father. So it's just been a perpetual cycle of abuse, manipulation, mind control, my entire karmic family making me crazy and then calling me crazy, stealing from me, lying to me, abusing me mentally and emotionally. And my daughter's father. I hope you rot in hell. I hope you die. From the painful death you've given me, you put me through. You killed a baby from inside of me and got away with it. You literally got away with murder. And then you took my other child and kept her away from me. And you got away with it. And I tried to be loving and forgiving and just be peaceful and show that I've grown up and I'm not that person and we don't have to fight and we can get along. And that it's good to get along and it's good to be healthy and we can change and we can be better. And I even let you have access to my other daughter because I believed that we were doing that. And ever since she came in contact with you, I don't hear from her anymore either. So, you can't hurt me anymore. You've taken the only things that mean anything to me. You made me miss out on my child's entire life. You made me watch her grow from a distance. You made me parent her through the internet. While I secretly and very quietly mourned the death of my child. And I forgave you for killing him. And for being able to get away with it. Like, the trauma put me into such a deep sleep that everyone that I came in contact with raped me, abused me, disrespected me, and I couldn't defend myself. I couldn't stand up for myself because I was healing. I was healing from shit that no one had no idea about. And I had the courage to keep going and to smile and to help other people heal from things that I had healed from, that I conquered. I still had the strength to go out there and hold other people's hands in their darkest hours. I still had the light in me to go out there and shine on darkness. I still had the strength to go out there and to grow. I remember when I was reunited with my brother here in St. Louis, and we were at a dinner party, and his friend asked me to divulge if there were any abusive things between me and my brother growing up. And there was one incident. I don't remember what provoked me, but I remember, having a fight with my brother, where I went off. I was livid. I went off, and my brother's retaliation in response to that was he stabbed me in the ass with a fork. And I have a scar on my ass from a fork from my brother. And we laugh about it. I mean, it wouldn't hurt that bad, but I do have a scar. It's the only time we ever fought. And I don't even remember what the fight was about, and neither does he. But he asked me, he said, "Why were you so angry as a child?" And I remember looking right in his eyes, and I told him, I said, because no one would listen to me. I was being abused, and no one would help me. No one believed me. No one would listen. I said I wasn't fighting anybody. I was fighting to be heard. And ever since that conversation, my brother always, listened to me. Even if he didn't believe me. That's a real fucking sick game to play, right? So this is why I'm single. This is why I don't want my family. This is why I don't give a fuck about nobody. This is why it's easier for me to connect so closely to Source Creator and to shine as his biggest and brightest star, his beloved Earth Angel. I don't have those interferences. I've done all the work of releasing the karmics. And the things that I've had to heal from are things that I hope no one ever has to know anything about. And this is just like fucking surface conversation. I'm really not even getting deep. All I want is to be free. Just leave me alone. If you want to fucking hurt me, I'm not going to allow it. I will destroy you. The amount of trauma that I've endured is as reminiscent as the amount of gifts that I have been given. Because even though my friends and family and loved ones, they didn't love me, they didn't honor me, they didn't treasure me, they didn't value me, they didn't respect me, they didn't honor me, God did. And my spiritual authority is 1,000 times bigger than any power or authority that they will ever have on the face of this earth. I will destroy anybody who gets in my face and tries to fuck with me. And then here I am. I was able to stop them from killing me. My mom is afraid of me. That's why she wants to get rid of me. I guess she didn't want me to expose all this shit. There's more. I can keep going. Oh my God, I can keep fucking going. That's just some of the big shit. Some of it. Not all of it. It's 50 years we're talking about. Those are just a couple things on the list. But that's the type of life I've lived. So nobody can't tell me a motherfucking thing. Nobody will ever tell me a motherfucking thing. Nobody. Nobody knows. And nobody cares. I don't have no embarrassment or shame for having been abused so badly. I think I did for a while. I think more than anything, instead of having embarrassment and shame, it was feeling like that little small fly on the wall. So I don't know if that was some sort of spell work or whatever, but when I'm traumatized, I tend to resort to feeling like that. So, and I might even shut down. Excuse me, so I make conscious efforts. I've recognized that and I've healed that as well. I'm not small and insignificant, and I'm not a fucking fly on the wall, and I'm not gonna shut down. So what I do now is I get still. I don't shut down, I get still. I get quiet, I listen. Because people can lie to me, but I will see the truth. I can see beyond the veil. So, when I cut people off, I cut them off cold turkey. I might struggle with that, but I do what I do because it needs to be done. And I don't go back on that. Making decisions like that is, I don't take that kind of contemplation for granted. I guess I could probably fit into a few categories of, I don't know, psychiatric labels, disassociative sometimes, multiple personality, I don't know. Clinically speaking, I guess it would be easy to put those labels on me, but that's the furthest from the truth. I have such a unique adaptability skill. I can adapt in any situation. I can be in any situation and still be able to get out unscathed. I refuse to be hurt again. And so I'm constantly being put in situations where I'm going to be hurt and I have to get out. And so that's my mom. It's the energy of my family not releasing me, not wanting to let me go. It's that demonic stronghold, that karmic stronghold. So I've recognized that and I've been running from it, trying to get further and further away from it. But I don't think that's the key to the freedom. I've been looking for the ultimate freedom. That's not the key. Running is good. It creates space. It blocks the perception. It blocks their view. It slows them down, but it doesn't stop them. I've literally watched how this karmic family has been able to recruit people. It's like a demonic stronghold. It's like a fucking mycelium running through people. It's almost like a mycelium network, but it's in demonic dark people. Karmic people. It's that black network. Like we have a crystalline grid, they have a black grid. My entire fucking family is on that grid, including my children. So I don't know what to do. I think, I guess energetically they probably feel like or think, or it seems like I'm not taking action, but that's not true. I've already reached out to the FBI and the CIA. I've actually reached out to the CIA several times. I'm not hearing back, but I've been told not to worry, that they're doing their thing. They're doing due diligence. I was told to focus on healing. And what broke me down and got me, I guess, in my feels was, seeing my daughter celebrate a very special event. I don't even understand what the event is. It's like he is trying to erase me out of her life so that he can have access to all of whatever she accomplishes, and so he can take full credit for it. But there's nothing wrong with my parenting. And so that was one thing I wanted to clear up too. And the biggest reason, or why he even got access to her, he kept her. He kept her against the will, against the agreement. He just kept her, and he was able to get away with it. He kept paying off the courts, I guess. He put me in a fake marriage. He was able to maintain being her legal father, even though he's not biologically her father. And then, on top of that, He was able to get away with murder, okay, murdering my child. On top of that, I literally had the FBI and Interpol stop him from kidnapping my daughter and force him to bring her back, and he still was able to go and get her out of here into Norway. So, you know, I'm proud of my daughter for being brave and to, you know, be able to have gone through all of that. A lot of that, she's not aware of all of the fighting that we were doing. So I'm proud of her. That's why I wrote that book. And then he turned around and tried to basically take that book and say that that was his property, I guess. I'm not sure if it was him, but my daughter never said thank you for the book. She was very ungrateful about it. And I'm just fucking done because I should be there celebrating. My baby just published her first book as well. This is not my first book. That was my third book. She just published her first book. We have a lot of writers on my mom's side of the family, and we have a lot of college grads on my dad's side of the family, really high-end professor type personalities. And so I'm looking forward to her doing more intelligent things and less karmic things, but I don't know if that's possible without my influence. You know, with them going through such great lengths to keep me out of my daughter's life. Like, it's just not, I don't see a purpose for it. And what hurts is that she believes in them and she listens to that because she is getting a better life, but he's given her a better life building off of my pain and energy. He's there because I fucking sent him there. He's had his chance, his shot at stardom because I gave him that chance at stardom to get out of the abusive relationship. So there's a lot that people don't know, but that motherfucker would have never had anything if it wasn't for me. And then he shit on me to make it grow. I mean, there's only one thing you can do to break a woman down. Take her kids. That's why nothing and no one can hurt me. I'm like, okay, you want to cheat? All right, get the fuck out. Don't come back. That shit don't hurt me. It pisses me off. But it don't hurt me. I'll never be with a fucking lying, cheating motherfucking whore. Fuck you. I want a real man who's gonna protect me and never let nothing and no one fucking hurt me. Never let me have to cry myself to sleep ever again. A real fucking man. You don't exist. That's why I'm single. Not because I'm fucking gay. I'm not fucking gay. I don't fucking do lesbian shit. Not because I have no disease. I ain't never had no fucking disease. Never. I ain't never been a prostitute. I grew up in a house full of prostitutes. My father was a pimp. My brother wanted to be a pimp. My baby daddy was a fucking pimp. But I ain't never sold my ass, not once. I never had to. I'm blessed. I'm protected. I know I'm God's child. I know God is with me. I know. I've always known. This is not a new revelation to me. I've always known. They say that we choose these things. I don't see it that way. Every fucking childhood memory I have is dark and painful. And most of my adult memories was fighting for the freedom to get away from my mother. Can I afford to do it this month? Can I make this move this month? Can I leap? Can I get this? Can I do this? My whole life, I've been running to get away from these motherfuckers. And I created a space for myself where I am so far away from them. Only to find out that they're actually basically right next door. So I want my family to leave me alone and stay away from me. You never treated me good. You were never honest to me. You never showed me love. You always gave me shit gifts. My mother would always give me broken shit. She would always give me broken stuff or stuff she didn't want. And then she'd go get herself something new. I've had enough of those people. When I see those people now, I have nothing for them. When I see people like that, I got nothing for you. I like being alone. There's nobody hurting me when I'm alone. Nobody's hurting me. And I don't hurt myself. I heal myself a little bit at a time. Like I said, this is almost a 2-hour video. I'm probably never going to share this. I don't know. I might be a bitch and just share it. I am feeling myself lately. I'm in the dark because I cried all night. I miss my daughter. And she's at the fucking peak of well, she's not at the peak of her career, but she's taking off. And I'm supposed to be right there. I'm supposed to be her rock. I'm supposed to be right there with my baby.
I'm her biggest fucking fan, you asshole. You selfish motherfucker. You want to hurt me. But I'll heal from this shit. And when it's all said and done, you'll realize you're only hurting her. Because when she realizes the truth, if she ever gets her hands on this video, and she knows the truth about you, she'll probably never talk to you again. You killed her brother, and you intentionally kept her away from me, purposefully and intentionally. You are a sadomasochist. You are a narcissistic monster. And you triggered me to feel this by me needing to tell the truth about you. I can't. I don't have the stomach to hold this shit in anymore. To look at my baby growing into a beautiful woman and not have her mother. Because of the lies that you told her. I originally asked for help with her to get her away from my mother because my sister was living with my mother. My mother was manipulating my energy so fucking bad that I was dependent on my mother. I didn't know about all the black magic shit and the energy projections. I didn't have that education back then. But my mother was controlling me to keep me codependent, to make me very needy on her. And so I was failing. And for 3 months, I needed to move back home. And at that time, my dad died, which basically, I died. He took me with him. I couldn't even function. I barely had the strength to go to work, let alone come home and smile for my baby girls. My sister was living in the same house with all of us. My stuff was packed up and it was in the Florida room, and I was just kind of sleeping in a pathway. We had like a couch back there. Me and my daughter kind of had a little bed on the couch, and I said, it's just temporary. I just gotta save up and we're out of here. And I'll never do this again because I don't fuck with my mom. And my sister was in the apartment next door, and she had a baby. Our babies are just a few months apart. My sister was literally, her and her boyfriend were selling crack cocaine. My sister was using it. My sister was an off and on drug addict. She always has to be inebriated, either drunk, high, or something. Back then she was smoking crack. She'd always had a problem with crack. And I would always know because her cheeks would break out. Her face would be broken out in pimples. She always had perfect skin unless she was getting high. But she was doing more than just getting high. She was selling it. And because she was using it and selling it, and she was already just a really fucked up person, I couldn't have my children around them. And I didn't know how to tell my children what the fucking truth was. Remember, I came from that sick, toxic family, so something inside of me protected them as well. Protected the sick, toxic secrets. But no more. So my sister would have these, like vases and these wicker basket type things. They would be on the floor. Funny thing. And I do a lot of that decorating too. I put stuff on the floor. I like to decorate on the floor. I have a little, not so much now because I have really big dogs, and a lot of dogs, but typically, yeah. And that's where she gets it from. She gets it from me. But it's a style that she loves, and she's adopted, and she's, my sister's a lot better at doing the foo-foo, girly decoration stuff than I am. So my sister's pretty amazing and stuff like that. So she's a good decorator. So she would hide it. But you don't have no fucking sense, you stupid motherfucker. You don't have crack in a house with babies, let alone in a vase on the floor. And there were several different containers full of this stuff. So whatever room she was in, she was able to access it. So just grab one. And I would fight with my sister day and night to get that fucking shit out of here, to stop doing that, or for her and her boyfriend to move away from my mother. Some kind of change. Give me your daughter. I'll take Shariah out. Whatever. I was doing whatever I had to fucking do, and it boiled down. My mother wouldn't do anything. My mother didn't have any. My mother has no kahunas. She doesn't even have a soul. So she had no fucking kahunas. She was just oblivious. So I did, out of desperation, what I had to do, and I reached out to my daughter's father and I asked for help. And he fucking really took advantage of my desperation, really took advantage of my grief. I was grieving my father. I was feeling so much trauma. I was having panic attacks when I didn't know what panic attacks were. I was depressed when I had no idea what depression looked like. And then I was angry at my sister for behaving this way. How could you behave this way when we have children? We have children! And so he used all of that against me and basically coerced me into writing a letter to the consulate of Norway that basically said what he wanted it to say. And I'll never forget writing that letter. I'll never forget it because I wrote it in all capital letters. I was absolutely distraught. And it was like I was under a spell. It was like
It was like I knew. I think I knew that if I let him take her, that there was a possibility that he would flip this on me and I would never see her again. And basically, that's basically what happened. That's basically what he did. Confirmation. So, what? So, I'm just ready to heal completely. Never need these motherfuckers ever again. And I have to speak the truth so that my kids one day will know the truth. I can't make them see it. I just gotta put it out there. I saved some of the court documents for my oldest daughter to see. She didn't want them. I shredded some of them so that I can heal that. But I did keep some so that she could see the truth. Her father's a fucking liar and a manipulator. But she doesn't want to see it. And I can't force her. And as painful as it is, I respect that she doesn't want to see the truth right. She doesn't want the fucking truth right now. So I get it. So, unfortunately, I am aware that my daughters both have taken bribes or something to say and do certain behaviors to me that'll help them make me look crazy. And call me out as some kind of moody, crazy kind of person. I'm not sure what the ulterior motive is, but there's clearly some sort of motive. And all I want, I don't even fucking care. There isn't enough money in the world. I don't care if they were hiding a fucking $10 billion inheritance from me. It still can't replace my girls. It can't replace my children. You took my religion, you took my babies. You took my babies. You ripped the sun right out of my body. You didn't even let me carry my baby to full term. And here you are, still trying to manipulate and control me. And I have not been in a relationship with you. Since what? Since the 90s? Since the late 90s? And you're still abusing me. I have not been in a relationship with you since the early 90s, early to mid, maybe late 90s, I can't remember. And you're still abusing me. Do you see how fucking sick you are? Do you understand what you've taken from me? And you're over there building a fucking empire on my pain? You don't deserve to live. You don't deserve to laugh and smile. That's why all the music you produce is shit. You'll never be blessed because you cursed me. And that's why you hold on so tight to my daughter, even though she's not your child. It's because you know she's your fucking meal ticket. You're living vicariously through her at my expense. And don't think you're getting away with it. I think God was waiting for me to heal. And God was waiting for me to have the strength to share my story. And I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one who's going through some shit like that. Maybe all of it. And I didn't even mention everything. But it's enough. It's enough to empty my bags and give me a fresh, clean start. So I don't know if I could get criminal justice after all these years. But honey, if I could, I'd be very happy to send you to prison for the rest of your natural life. But you don't deserve freedom. You don't deserve to be in my daughter's life. You don't deserve to breathe fresh, clean air. You're a killer and a monster. And I've said what I had to say.